Congratulations, Pitt Law Class of 2021. I greatly appreciate you inviting me to join you on your graduation day, although I regret not being able to join you in person this afternoon. Of course, it's been that kind of year, constantly zooming in and out of classes and meetings and events until none of us is sure that we even have a physical existence anymore. Having spent virtually, pun intended, the whole year here at my home in Shadyside, I'm beginning to wonder whether there's still a law school in Oakland, although Dean Amy assures me that there is. She says she's been there. One thing I have never doubted, however, is the existence and the importance and the potential of all of you law students. Without you, there would be no law school, physical, virtual, or otherwise. Without you, none of us on the faculty would be here. And even in the weirdness and strangeness that's been 2020 to 2021, you've been online, on time, and remarkably ready and eager to learn. It's all of you that kept me going this year. Turning on the lights and the camera in my home office and welcoming you by name to my virtual classroom for How Lawyers Made America or Ancient Law, and on Mondays, sometimes both, was invariably the highlight of any day I was teaching. I loved our class conversations and the comments and insights coming from you that set me thinking. Tuning into jurist meetings and chatting with those of you who are jurist staff members about all the fabulous things you've been doing this year as our service has truly gone global has been another high point. True, we've been separated by distance, but so many of the situations and interactions we've had in our virtual space have only reminded me of just how human all of you are and of how important your humanity is to me. As some of you may know, my father was a college professor. At one point, he was Dean of Divinity at the small college in Halifax, Nova Scotia, where I grew up. I never actually saw him teach in a classroom, but for 20 years when I lived at home, I watched him talk and work and walk with his students. He delighted in them. He was inspired by them, and he was so very proud of them, not just as budding clergymen and women, but as human beings that he had the privilege of helping in some way. For all his learning and all his degrees, he taught me that true teaching is not some kind of information transfer or even abstract professional preparation, but rather it is about helping to realize the human potential of students by developing their critical awareness of their world and of themselves. We are here, ladies and gentlemen, to help you grow. And if you think that this year I have managed to do something of that in these crazy and unprecedented circumstances, then I'm very happy and very grateful to have had that opportunity, and I thank you. But if teaching is a privilege, so is learning. And sometimes the privilege of learning is lost. As some of you may know, Jurist at the present moment is covering the international human rights disaster that is the military coup in Myanmar in Southeast Asia. Every day, I'm in touch with multiple law students on the ground there who are fighting for the restoration of democracy and the rule of law. They are not even in law school anymore. The law schools in Myanmar were closed when COVID first came along in March of last year, and they are even more closed now, if that's possible. Numerous law professors have been dismissed from their posts by the ruling junta. Several are in hiding from the authorities. At least one has been charged. Many law students have been arrested and detained. One law student, Yo Hein Kya, was killed at a protest in March while trying to save a friend. Before I recorded this video, I told one of my Myanmar law students that I was going to be speaking to you, and I asked her if she had any message for you. By the way, she is not atypical. You may be very interested to know that for multiple historical reasons, over 80% of law students in Myanmar and law teachers in Myanmar are women. So she said yes. First, she said, I want to congratulate all of them. And then I just want them to feel thankful for all the things they are having. I want all of them to remember how lucky they are. Not everyone in the world is receiving the right to education and other fundamental human rights as you all do. So please try harder for yourself and then for a better society. And be the ones who change the world, who make a better community. I hope in the future we can all create a better world together. So today, on behalf of my Myanmar law students, 8,000 miles away, and for myself just across town in Shadyside, I hope all of you, my law students in Pittsburgh, will look to the future especially because the problems of the world are so great. There is so much to be done. I hope law students like you will lead the way to reform and will realize the promise of your humanity in the process. In the words of the late and widely admired Canadian political leader, Jack Layton, who touched so many in his life by his own humanity in the face of crisis. My friends, love is better than anger. Hope is better than fear. Optimism is better than despair. So let us be loving, hopeful, and optimistic, and we'll change the world. Thank you very much, and congratulations on this very special day.